Well, flood insurance is important to have for both renters and property owners, but most of the time it's overlooked. The only time people really think about it is after a disaster. Channel 3's Allison Pryor tells us why the time to consider a flood insurance policy is before the disaster happens. Allison.
November is the month that receives the most rain normally in Chattanooga out of the entire year. It's then followed by our cold and also wet wintertime months, which produce greater rainfall runoff. Therefore, flooding becomes a bigger concern. We've seen flooding across our area the past 2 Februaries, but it can occur anytime during the year.
Flooding is the #1 natural disaster in America currently, and that's whether it's a 100-year flood or whether it's flash flooding.
99% of U.S. counties have been impacted by a flooding event since 1996. And just in the past 10 years, flooding has cost $40.3 billion in damages.
Most people may be under the false assumption that their homeowner's policy or their renter's policy will cover them in the event of a flood.
But that's not the case. You must have separate flood insurance to cover your structure and belongings. Just 1 inch of water in your home can cost $25,000 in damages, a huge financial burden.
While flood insurance can't stop flooding, flood insurance can help you and your family recover after a flood.
Compared to the potential cost of damages, the average annual flood insurance premium is small at around $700. The price varies depending on FEMA's flood assessment map, which allows you to search for your exact address.
Whether you are in a high-risk zone or not, you may need flood insurance. More than 20% of flood insurance claims come from areas outside of mapped flood zones.
So how do you get flood insurance? Most of our communities participate in FEMA's National Flood Insurance Program.
You should reach out to the National Flood Insurance Program at 1-800-427-4661, or you should contact your local insurance agent.
If flood insurance is not available through the national program, make sure you shop around to compare premiums from private licensed insurers. There is a 30-day waiting period from when you purchase a national policy to when it takes effect.
You can't buy it the day ahead of a storm and have it in place.
Everyone should learn what their flood risk is, research what insurance covers, and take flooding seriously. If you live in an area that's under a low to moderate flood risk, you are 5 times more likely to experience a flood than a fire in your home over the next 30 years. Reporting in Hamilton County, Allison Pryor, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.